Okay, Nick Williams here with Knockshaw. How are you doing? Conversations over latte continue.
Excellent.
You're one of the UK's leading Twitter experts for business.
Yes.
Do you think everybody should be on Twitter?
I think that Twitter is applicable for everybody. However, there's quite a group of people that I think shouldn't be on it. And it's not because Twitter's the problem, it's because unfortunately they're the problem. Okay? Twitter, like anything else, is a tool, and people need to use that tool, and they need to use it effectively for whatever they're hoping to achieve. Okay, Twitter's typically not the problem. The problem is how people start to engage with that tool and start to use it, that they then find it doesn't work for them. And typically what they'll say is Twitter's rubbish, it doesn't work, it's a load of nonsense, and so on. Twitter isn't, it's the way they're using it. So let me give you some examples.
They're not engaging with it effectively.
They're not engaging with it. So, for example, if you're particularly very selfish and you don't like to share things, Twitter's not for you. Because Twitter is all about sharing information. Okay? If you're very much a me type person and you don't like listening to anybody, taking advice, engaging with anyone, talking to anybody, Twitter's probably not going to be for you. Okay? Not unless you're incredibly rich and famous. Now, if you're Oprah Winfrey, then you probably can afford to be me, because she's worth $1 billion or whatever. The vast majority of us, it's not going to work, okay? So, if you're that way inclined where all you do is like talking about yourself, all you like doing is broadcasting about yourself, it's not for you. Likewise, if you're selling something, but all you're doing is selling something,
you're going to switch people off.
You're going to switch people off. No one likes to be sold to, so it's not going to work for you, okay? Same thing, you know, when you go networking. You know, we've all been to networking events. You know, I know you do a lot of networking as well, okay? Where you walk up to people and before you've even said a word, they're not listening to a word you're saying, they're giving you their business card, they've told you all about their latest widget and whatever, they haven't asked anything about you. Are you interested in them? No. It's the same on Twitter. So, you know, these are people that then blame the tool, the service, and what you often find is they say networking's rubbish, Facebook's rubbish, Twitter's rubbish. None of these things are rubbish, it's how they're using it.
Yeah, so you've got to learn how to engage with it. And, you know, we've talked about this before, but in a way you've got to develop a generosity, haven't you, I think, to make things like this work. You've got to invest time, you've got to give things away, you've got to give value, you've got to be interested as well as interesting.
Absolutely. You know, I wrote an article on my blog, you know, someone called me up and said, you know, how do I get more followers? And I said two things: be interesting and be interested. Okay? Be funny, be humorous, be interested in other people. If you're not prepared to do that, then it's not going to work. Be honest, be transparent, be prepared to talk about what you do during the day and with your family or whatever. That doesn't mean you have to give away the crown jewels. Doesn't mean you have to give away your inside leg measurement if you feel uncomfortable with that. So whatever you're comfortable doing is fine, but you do need to be personal. You do need to have a photo of yourself. You do need to be transparent about what you're hoping to achieve, and the sort of person that likes to share when they find things and so on. Typically you'll find the people, as I said, who just don't get on with this are people who don't do any of the above but expect things to happen. It's not going to happen. You've
talked a lot recently, I've heard you twittering about it, where you find people just want help from you, but they're not offering anything in return. It's just like they're always out for what they can get, not what they can share and contribute.
I get very tired of people messaging me, just saying, I want, I need, and those types of messages. Whereas what I found, and you can maybe say the same, is that the more you say, how can I help you, the more you say, what can I give you, or you know, what can we do to help each other, then it's a completely different ball game, and people open up, you help them. It can be the simplest things, you know, just connecting someone, just introducing someone into a different network or something like that. And then suddenly they go, okay, thank you for helping me now, how can I help you? Rather than this, I want all the time. I mean, do you find the same?
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing you saying is if you don't want to be generous, if you don't want to show up, if you don't want to be interested, if you don't want to be interesting, don't go on to Twitter.
Exactly.
It ain't going to work for you.
It ain't going to work for you.
Because it's a medium for being generous and sharing and being visible.
Correct.
Thanks for those tips. I think it's going to help people a lot.
Thank you.
Figure out whether they Twitter can work for them and how it can work for them and how they can contribute to it.
And you know, there's nothing wrong with deciding that after what I've just said, it's not for you. That's good. You know, you don't. There's no compulsion. Save a lot of time. There's no compulsion that you have to go on there. Okay, it's not like I have to be in there. Find something else that maybe isn't like that, where it works for you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark. Cheers.
Thank you, Nick.
Hope you've enjoyed watching it.